Hello, this is Dee Middleton, and welcome back to my channel. If you've been following along in this series, we've been talking about how I make money blogging, earn a full-time income, and how I use Pinterest to do so. Now, if you've not been following my channel and you've happened upon this, chances are you've found this video because you are an established blogger or content creator already using Pinterest. So today we want to address the 5 things that you can do when your Pinterest traffic drops. So number one, we've got to figure out who this video is for. It is for established bloggers. It is not for new bloggers. It is for established bloggers who have been consistent with pinning new pins to Pinterest and creating new content for Pinterest. You've been following a consistent daily schedule. You've been treating blogging like a job and you're doing your part, but yet your traffic is down and you can't make sense of it. Who this video is not for. It is not for new bloggers whose blogs are 6 months old or less. And it is not for those who have taken a break from Pinterest. If you've taken a week, a month, a year off from Pinterest, your traffic is going to drop. So this content does not apply to you. It is for established bloggers. So let's get into it. What are the 5 things you can do when your Pinterest traffic drops? Number one, you're going to check to see if you have a flagged account. Has your website been flagged for spam by Pinterest? Now, how would you know this? If you reach out to Pinterest, which chances are you have if you've landed on this video, and you've gone to the Pinterest website, you've clicked on Get Help, you've emailed them, and you've got a reply back. Sometimes you will get a reply back that says that we flagged your account for spam. What is spam? Spam consists of a few things. According to Pinterest, spam is creating misleading content. So if you have created a pin that says, for example, chocolate cake recipe, and then when you click on the actual visit site button and the URL, and it leads you to something other than chocolate cake recipe, let's say it leads you to a calendar page that's for sale on Etsy, then that is spam. That is misleading content. That is misleading information. Now, sometimes what will happen to you is you will have a pin stolen. So if you've been making Pinterest your day-to-day, your 9 to 5, then sometimes you're going to make some really great pins that go viral, and people are going to screenshot that pin. They're going to steal your pin and they're going to lead it to another website that they've created. That's called a stolen pin. Now, when this happens, you can report it. If you'll look on the actual pin, and there's usually like 3 dots at the top or at the bottom, you can click on that and it will tell you what to do. You can contact Pinterest about that specific pin. Now, what does that mean? That means they've stolen the pin, but you might have other pins for that exact URL that's doing well, that same blog post you wrote that's doing well, that are not stolen pins. So you're still getting traffic from the good pins, not the stolen pins. But that stolen pin might be a cause of concern for you because it might be causing your traffic to drop and you're going to need to report it. So what happens next? When you report a pin, you're going to get an automated reply that says, Pinterest has seen that you've reported the pin, that you've reported it as stolen content. And they're going to ask you to provide that specific URL that leads to your blog post. So you're going to kind of need to prove to them that this was your pin. The way I do that is I always, when I create a new pin, put my website at the bottom. Yes, it's probably a little unnecessary step, but for me, that has helped me prove to Pinterest that this is my pin. Now, could people screenshot that and still use it? They do it all the time. Even though my URL, my name, my website is on the pin, it's crazy. People still do it. There are still thieves out there. But that's one of the ways you're going to prove to Pinterest that that is your pin. And Pinterest is pretty smart. They can see other pins, not just that one that's leading to your blog post. So they can see your content already. They can see that specific URL that you've been pinning for. And so they can kind of, usually they're going to decide that, yes, this is a stolen pin. They may write you back and ask you, do you want to flag this pin for spam and just remove this pin? Or do you want to remove every pin to every URL? Of course, you don't want to do that. You want to remove just that stolen pin. So if they ask you for that, go ahead and tell them that is your intention. So that was number one. So one of the things you can do is, check to see if your account has been flagged for spam or a specific URL has been flagged. Now, sometimes you're going to see if you have been blogging long enough and you've been doing this for years, you're going to see that there is a natural occurrence of people gaining interest and losing interest in a specific thing. For example, let's use Stanley Cups. So Stanley Cups back in the 80s, Stanley Cups were just this standard big green canister, that aluminum drink canister, the cups I'm talking about. Stanley has rebranded itself over the last few years and made a killing on producing new colors and new styles of Stanley Cups. But just like anything, those things are going to run their course. The people are going to gain interest. They're going to love a brand, or they're going to love a cup for a while, and it's going to do well, and then it's going to lose interest. It's going to lose popularity. So that may have happened with your account. That may have happened with some of your blog posts, in the same way that Stanley has, maybe they're losing interest now, whereas 2 or 3 years ago, they were at their peak, right? So we'll get to what you can do next about that. But you're going to think about that as you're looking through and figuring out, why is your account dropping. Now, this next thing you're going to need to look at, number 2, is to check your Google Analytics for specific URLs. So go to your Google Analytics that's connected to your blog. You're going to look at specific URLs, and you're going to usually see a drop. They will usually show you a percentage for particular blog posts that have had a drop. Now, what I want you to do here is to, number 1, we're going to check to see if any of those URLs have been flagged for spam. And if it's multiple URLs, we're going to have to check multiple URLs. I'm sorry to tell you. So this is how you're going to check that. You will know if you're Pinterest won't email you and tell you, this pin or this blog post has been flagged for spam. You usually find out the hard way, and that's by a huge loss in traffic, especially if that was a viral pin. So I had a viral pin that went viral in August of last year. In February, and it stayed viral. It did really well because it's evergreen content. It's not seasonal. It's something that people would be into year round. So in February, that particular URL got flagged as spam. And how do I know that? This is how you find out. You're going to go to Pinterest. You're going to click on Create New Pin. And you're going to, put in the image you would make for that specific URL. You're going to copy that URL into the link where it says, what link do you want this pin to be linked to? And it will tell you instantly. Usually it will be bright red, or there might be an exclamation point, and it's going to say, this link has been blocked as it may lead to spam. So that tells you right there, that's something you can do if you've got a specific link that has been blocked that they think is leading to spam. So you're going to need to email Pinterest. You're going to show them that specific URL. And if it is not spam, if you are producing good content and this does not violate their spam policies, then you are going to try to get Pinterest to unblock that link. You're going to want to show them that you are not providing spam, that you are providing good content. Number 3, what can you do when your Pinterest traffic drops? Create new URLs. Pinterest is there for inspiration and ideas. That's what most people come to Pinterest for. We are searching for some type of inspiration or idea. Now, Pinterest over time is going to populate certain pins for specific keywords. And over time, just like the Stanley Cup, those specific pins are going to lose interest. They're going to lose momentum. They're not going to be doing as well. That is the natural flow of things. Every pin that we create cannot necessarily do well for 10 years. It may do well for 10 years. I've got one that I created when I first started blogging in 2019 that's still gaining traffic, still doing very well. But that may be unique. That may not be your situation. So, what can you do to combat this? What can you do to help Pinterest put you in front of other viewers and you can get more clicks? As you can create new URLs, you can create new content. So, you're going to, just like Stanley, you're going to want to stay relevant in your niche. You're going to want to keep producing new content to new URLs. Number 4, another thing you can do when your Pinterest traffic drops, create a new board. Now, I don't see anyone talking about this, but 2 times a year, and I've been pinning since 2019, and that's when I started blogging. 2 times a year, usually every 6 months, I will create a new board with new keywords within that board, and I will start pinning to that board. Now, that can help revive your traffic. And then number 5, the final tip I have for you is no one is mentioning. It's as simple as this. It's diversify your traffic. Yes, Pinterest is wonderful. Yes, it's amazing for bringing you traffic. But if Pinterest goes down and you lose traffic, what can you do outside of Pinterest to get more clicks to your website? What can you do to create more content? What other resources and platforms can you use to put your content out there to get more views? You can use YouTube. You can use TikTok. I don't personally use TikTok. Some people use Instagram. Some people have a lot of success with Facebook. So you're going to look at other sources where you can start gaining traffic. You can put your content out there to reach more people and different people. So those are the 5 things that I want you to do. So when your Pinterest traffic drops, we'll just run right back through those. Number 1, check to see if your whole account has been flagged as spam. Number 2, check your specific Google Analytics and specific URLs to see if there is a specific URL that's been flagged as spam. Number 3, create new content, create new URLs. Number 4, create a new board every 6 months or so. That'll help you out, keep your traffic fresh. It'll also keep your Pinterest account fresh. And number 5, diversify your traffic. So I wanted to leave you with this because this is gold. We were in church yesterday and I thought, oh, this is good. I've got to put this out there for a new video because Pinterest is it can be such a volatile platform. And if you've been blogging long enough, you've been on the Pinterest roller coaster. You've been through the ups and the downs. I started in 2019. I experienced my first real down in 2021 when we were on vacation. I shouldn't have been looking at my Google Analytics, but there I was. And I was staring at the Google Analytics and I saw a huge drop. At the same time, I was running Pinterest ads. Now, I have not found success running Pinterest ads for traffic. So that is not a good source if you want to do it for traffic. You can try to do it for products or digital products that you sell. But the point I'm making is this. It is a roller coaster. Pinterest updates algorithms. People lose interest in content. They are finicky. People are finicky. And just like Stanley reinvented its cups and reintroduced itself, you're going to have to create new content and reintroduce yourself. But this is the gold I wanted you to hear from yesterday. When we were at church, I thought, I'm going to share this in the video because it was really, really helpful. And it comes from the book of James 1:2-4. And it says, consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, when you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature, complete, and lacking nothing. And then the thing underneath it that I wrote down was, when was the last time someone challenged you to change? That's what I'm trying to do now. Is number 1, I'm trying to tell you to stay the course, but I also want you to listen to the possibility that you may need to change some things. You need to allow yourself to be challenged. If you get negative comments either on your blog or on your pin, you need to hear the grain of wisdom that might be hiding in the negative comment, especially if you hear it over and over. For example, here on YouTube, I've created several videos when I first started and the music was either too loud or too powerful. So if you'll notice in this video, I no longer use music because people have told me enough times, they have challenged me to change enough times to say, please drop the music, it's distracting, or I can't hear you. So, and then this is the second golden nugget I wanted you to hear. You don't need every voice shaping you. You don't need every voice shaping you. You don't need to listen to every voice out there. It's going to be challenging when you're facing a difficult situation, whether you're losing traffic blogging, losing traffic from Pinterest. You're going to hear a lot of voices. And I want you to tune out the voices who don't know what they're talking about. And I want you to stay away from the negativity. And I don't want you to listen to yourself or anyone else who would tell you to throw in the towel and quit. That is, unless you really do not enjoy what you're doing. But if you love what you're doing, and I do, and I love creating content, and I try to create good content for Pinterest and for my viewers here on YouTube, you don't need every voice shaping you, but we need to love what the process produces, even when we don't always love the process. I'm going to say that again. We love what the process produces, even when we don't always love the process. So, this volatility, this traffic roller coaster that you experience on Pinterest, don't let it cause you to quit, because your traffic will recover if you do the right things. And I've tried to give you 5 things today that you can do today that will help bring some of that traffic back. And if you are consistently producing great content for your readers and for your viewers, then you're going to win. But if you quit before you reach the finish line, you're never going to win. So let me encourage you with that today. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you found it helpful. If there's something I'm missing or something I haven't explained well, please drop me a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear your experience with Pinterest. And maybe if you've got some fresh ideas that I did not list here, something that's worked for you, feel free to share it in the comments and try to help each other out. So thank you for watching. Again, it's dmiddleton.com. I'm going to drop a few more links below. If you're looking for ways to get traffic to your blog, I'm going to drop a link below that explains 2 resources that I use to do that. So check out the links below. Let me hear from you in the comments, and be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy this content. I love producing it for you, and I'd love to hear back from you. So thank you for watching. Bye-bye.